We're back here in Bermuda. As you know, we've been here for the last couple of weeks out exploring the beautiful reefs. Now we're here to dive a shipwreck that we never actually dived the whole time we worked in Bermuda. We worked here for 5 years, never dived this wreck. This time we're here to go explore it. This is the Manilla Shipwreck. It ran aground on these breakers right behind me in the 1700s. It's an old frigate with old guns, like cannons on it. Apparently cannons are a little bit tricky to find. Me and Holly are going to jump in to go see if we can find them. If that's your first time to the channel, my name's Mark and we've got Holly who'll be the divers with us. We run dive trips all over the world, Blue Horizon Diving. It's your first time to the channel, make your next dive on that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content and you get to come explore amazing places in the world like here in Bermuda with Dive Bermuda. Let's jump in and let's go explore, see if we can find the cannons of the Manilla Shipwreck here in the beautiful reefs of Bermuda. Let's go. We were so excited to be dropping under the waves to explore a brand new shipwreck for Holly and me. As I said in the intro, we'd worked here for over 5 years and never dived this wreck. And as you can see, the visibility was incredible. It was over 50 meters, like 170 feet of visibility. It was phenomenal. And this wreck has a really interesting history, or shall I say this area has a really interesting history. It is an unknown Dutchman-class ship, dubbed the Manilla by archaeologists, as it is believed to have run aground in 1753 in what is now the Northeast Breakers dive area. When it was discovered by Harry Cox, the name derived from manillas, a bronze bangles produced in Europe that served as a form of African currency used to purchase commodities from African chieftains. Shipwrecked on the Reef, the 18th century vessel went down just breakers away from the Eagle, a Virginia company ship wrecked a century earlier in 1659 on the Northeast Breakers. Much later, in March 1932, the Prince David ran aground close to the Manilla before being refloated. Artefacts recovered from the Manilla have included tiny glass trade beads, stone ginger beer bottles, pottery, glassware, gold and a quantity of Manila bangles. And this chain that you saw right at the beginning that will come across helping us find our way back to the boat isn't from the Manila, but was actually from the Prince David when it grounded. It dropped anchor to try and keep itself afloat by the reef before it was refloated and taken away. So this wreck is full of history. And you're going to see this when we're looking around under these beautiful breakers, seeing what we can find around. And then before we know it, we're coming across to the breakers, coming across to other breakers where the water is crashing on the northeastern breakers of Bermuda, and we start getting a glimpse in the distance. Looking in distance, we start seeing long cylinder shapes, and we're wondering, have we found it? Have we found the guns from 1753 of this unknown Dutch ship? This was assumed potentially to come from the Dutch West Indies Company. And there you have it. As I place my hand on one of the cannons, I can see it. One of the cannons here, and we've found what we've been looking for. Now, as we said, this wreck was discovered by Harry Cox. Funny enough, the night before, or should I say last night, from when we dived this wreck, I was out with his son, Will Cox, and he was telling me all the stories of him and his dad exploring this wreck on their boat, the Shearwater. Now, back in the 70s, Harry and his son, Will, went out with a group of friends exploring this wreck in this area, but looking for treasure. Same time when Teddy Tucker, the legendary Teddy Tucker, was out exploring wrecks as well. They put their boat there in the area, put their sand dredging blasters down, started blasting the sand out to see what artefacts they could find. They came across the cannons by the breakers, and in the big sand patch we're going to come across in a moment, this is where they found the bangles and they found gold and other treasures as well. So it was amazing to sit down with Will Cox last night, hearing all the stories from when him and his dad found this wreck, Will was only about 10 or 11, going out diving with his dad, exploring this wreck. It's only around about 12 metres, 40 feet. The gun's around about 5 metres depth, so around about 15 to 20 feet of depth where the guns are. But yeah, as I said, it was cool hearing the stories from him, getting the inside facts, seeing the history, learning about the history, and then actually coming and diving this wreck just by chance the next day. But this was a beautiful dive site. As you can see, we're cruising along, there's breakers everywhere, and we kept bumping into little squishies, or shall we say, jellyfish. Now they were everywhere, really attracted to the camera, but when I was playing around with the GoPro, I decided to put the backscatter micro lens on to see if you could see a difference. So do you see a difference in the quality using this lens up close? Of the details, you can see the almost little spots and the membranes inside of the jellyfish compared to when the lens is not on the GoPro. Ollie's having some fun, showing her buoyancy skills off, going around the jellyfish, just having a bit of fun, as we were also looking for lionfish. But as you can see, here's the chain of the Prince David that ran aground in 1939. Before it was refloated, the chain has been here for almost 100 years, sits around about 10 feet or 3 metres above the sand patch at this dive site, near, as we said, the northeast breakers. And yes, we have another squishy, another jellyfish, but Holly goes and spots the sand. Drops down, touchdown, our favourite spot, back in the sand, just having fun, blowing bubbles and playing in the sand. Now when we were moving around this big sand patch, we were having a look, and we've had a lot of easterly winds come through, which is actually blowing the sand away and exposed this crate box. Now this could be from the Eagle in the sunk in 1659, it could be from the Manilla, which sunk in 1753, or it could even be from the Prince David as well, which ran aground in 1939. So we didn't know where this was from, and you'll see in a moment later when Mark, owner of Dive Bermuda, even tells us, did you see this box in the sand patch? I've never seen that before. So it was interesting, we weren't sure what it was about, we checked if there was any treasure in there, there was no treasure. But we cruised along past another jellyfish, they were out in force today as we started moving around the beautiful reefs around this area as well. So this Holly, I'm like, what are you doing? You're up to no good behind me. Maybe she's waving? No, there's something up. I don't trust her. She's definitely up something, a little bit crazy. Why is she going up there? Okay, I've caught her, busted. And she's like, no, you've caught me. She was trying to be sneaky, forgetting that the GoPro has a front camera as well, or a front screen, where I could see what she was up to. But as you can see, this is a beautiful dive site. The reef is extremely healthy. You got sea fans, branch coral, brain coral, maize coral everywhere. The reef is really healthy, and there was a lot of life around the breakers as we looked up and saw a great barracuda. Looking around, there was parrotfish, we had Carrillo wrasse, we also had four-eyed butterfly fish on the dive, we had lots of trumpet fish as well. There was so much life. Now I know quite a few people comment and say it's not as much life compared to like the Caribbean or elsewhere. This is because Bermuda is one of the most northerly reef systems in the world. So you don't get the biodiversity of fish and the biomass of fish as you get somewhere like in the Caribbean or in the Coral Triangle in Southeast Asia. So you got to understand it's due to where we are and our location. That yes, we don't have the same level of fish, but there is a lot of beautiful reef and there's fish around to enjoy, especially cleaning wrasse and Bermuda chub, as that great barracuda came cruising past again. And as you see up at the end here, Mark is going to be asking, did he see that box? But we really hope you enjoyed this dive. Stick around for the end, and as always, we'll see you on the next dive.
We got everything we need right here. Wine and burning chemistry. You and me alone. You and me alone.
We really hope you enjoyed that. Come now and exploring this historic shipwreck, the Manilla. As I said, a historic wreck that sunk in the 1700s. And yes, we found the cannons. We didn't think we were going to, but we found them. They're a little bit tricky, as you saw in the videos. As you saw, they were like covered in coral as well. So they were just the outskirts of it. The shape of it helped us identify them. But really hope you enjoyed this dive. Come now exploring the Manilla Shipwreck in Bermuda. And as always, thanks so much for all your support of the channel. Make sure you make your next dive on the subscribe button. It helps out a lot. Comment below as well if you've ever dived this wreck, or where's a wreck that you found that was inspiring and historic that you loved as well. As always, thank you so much. We'll see you guys in the next video.